One of the cool things about being a human is that we have the opportunity to reinvent ourselves both physically, mentally, and in a lot of other ways. And today on It's Never Too Late to Date, we are going to be talking about changing some of the things that you don't really like about yourself without changing your personality, without changing really who you are, but just doing some basic updates to make you feel beautiful. One of the things I hear a lot are how older women feel invisible. And I think a lot of times we do feel invisible because we think people aren't noticing us. And there are things that you can do to change that. And some of the things, even without making any adjustments, is just to smile. People notice when people smile. I notice it when I go to the grocery store, when I'm walking down the street. I've noticed that a lot of people look down, even young people look down. They're totally distracted. They've got their headsets on, they're listening to something on their phones, and pretty much will run into people because they're not paying attention. But in general, I do think that people need to make eye contact more and smile more. Now, today, in a little bit, we're going to be talking about some of the things that you can do to just just pep up your look. And not anything huge, maybe a little few things that are different. But when we feel good about ourselves, then we it emits out of us, our energy changes, and people notice. One thing that always makes me feel better and gives me a lift is to update my wardrobe. Now, a lot of people would say, well, I don't have the money to do that. And there are ways to do it without spending a lot of money. And going to places like Goodwill, Value Village. I don't know if there's Value Villages all over the country, but there's Goodwill all over the country. There are upscale Goodwill stores, and they all have designer clothes. People give away clothes, they get tired of wearing them and they give them away. And I'm guilty of it myself. I've given away clothes that still have tags on them. I buy them. I don't like to try things on when I go into the store. So I just buy and I do a lot of online shopping. And sometimes if I don't send it back in time, then I've got it and I just pass it on to let somebody else use it. So don't discard going into some of the shops like Goodwill and Value Village, or I'm sure there's other stores like it all over the country and in other countries as well. And so don't be afraid of going to discount stores to find updates on what you're wearing. One of the things that I see the most is women reach a certain age and they start dressing a certain way. And a lot of times it's because they may not like their body, so they're wearing clothes that kind of hide their shape. But at the same time, you can wear clothes that hide your shape, but that are still stylish. And so go get magazines. I used to spend so much time looking at magazines when I was younger, and as I've gotten older, I haven't done that as much. I do watch fashion though, so I do try to stay up on what's in, what's out. But there are magazines for mature women that are not showing you muumuus or the clothes that our parents used to wear or our grandparents used to wear at our age. We are still vibrant and attractive, and you've got to look for those clothes that make you feel good with the right colors, with the right shape for your body. There are lots of YouTube channels that are specifically focused on style and picking the colors that fit your color, your look, your the style that you want, picking clothes that fit the shape that you are, and just taking some time to look at those things and trying out some of those things. And when you put something on and you go, wow, I didn't know I could wear this. I didn't know that this style would fit me. And I think a lot of times we have in our mind that we're just too old to continue to look good. And I think that's a bad way to look at things. Type in styles for 60 and older or 50 and older, and it's way different than what you think. And there are so many cool clothes that you can get and just get an idea of what you're looking for. And then if you've got the money to buy new stuff, do it. If you don't have a lot of money, you'll just have to spend some time going through some of the discount places and you'll be able to find what you're looking for. Just kind of as a confession, I am not a shopper. I don't like going to the malls. I don't like going in the stores and trying on clothes. I figure out what I want to wear, what I think looks good on me, and I do look at some things that I see online, and I'll buy stuff online, and mainly looking at how it looks on the person that's modeling it to see if they have the same body shape as I do. Now, looking at. So, just an example, I was online and there was a dress I was looking at, and it looked great on this gal that was on it, but she looked like she was probably 5'7", probably weighed about 130 pounds, and I'm shorter and heavier than that. And so I was able to find a model on that site that was my height and close to my weight wearing that same dress, and I could see exactly how it looked on her. And it doesn't hurt to order stuff, and then if you have to send it back, most stores take returns. So do some experimenting with some things that you never would have tried, and you'll be amazed at how it just lifts your spirit. You walk standing up taller, and you're happier, and other people notice it. And if you're concerned about being invisible, you'll not be invisible anymore. I am always in awe of the woman who can wear a bunch of different hairstyles. And by that I mean I have friends who have a wig for every style possible. They even have them set up on the little heads. What are they called? Where head busts. I don't know what they're called. Where you would put wigs on. There is a name for that. And so I've always admired the fact that a person can go out of the house with a different style every time they go out. I have never been able to do that. I'm very self-conscious of looking different than what I normally do, but I did try some wigs, and I'll be showing that to you in the next segment. I am so excited today to be showcasing Soul Lady Wigs. There are so many women that I know that just want an updated look. They want to feel good about themselves. Maybe they've done braids a lot in the past and they've got receding hairline. There are a lot of illnesses that people deal with where they need a wig that looks like human hair. And Soul Lady has that. They have beautiful human wigs or human hair wigs that I think look amazing on. And I am not a wig person. I haven't worn a wig since I was in high school, which was probably, well, I know it was over 55 years ago. And so when it's definitely something that women need today, whether you're just wanting to change things up a bit to make yourself feel better. And I do know that when you feel better about yourself and feel better about your look, that you come out and you're definitely more attractive and you feel better. So here we go. Now I'm going to be showcasing a specific wig today, and it is our 14-inch. It's a Soul Lady Senior Wig Salt and Pepper style for mom. 100% human hair, 5x5 HD lace wear to go, and they're called to go wigs. And it is 100% human hair, as I mentioned before, and I can't say that enough. I had in the past when I did wear a wig, it was usually synthetic, and they got really, really hot and hard to keep on for a while. And the human hair, and I think the way that they're making things now are so much better. And this is a body wave hair. It's very wavy. And as I mentioned before, 14 inches long. No tangle, no shedding. Very, very, done very well. And it's a 5x5 HD lace closure glueless wig. And I will show you all the ways that it's made to help it stay on your head and make it more secure. Each wig comes with a care guide that you'll get when you do order, as well as maintenance. You'll be able to, the bag that I showed you earlier, this is a great satin storage bag to keep your hair in the best shape possible, keep your wig in the best shape possible. And I'm going to show you exactly how they look. So here we go. I'll be putting this on, and I can blend it with my hair, but this time I'm not going to do that. My sunglasses off. So to make sure that you have it on the right and placement. I mean, and you can move it around a little bit, whatever works for you as far as your part goes. But this feels great to me. You've got some tabs right here on each side, and I can pull them down, and then also adjust so that I'm showing off as much forehead as I normally would have. And make sure I tuck this all behind my ears. All right, and then it just shapes so easily, frames your face. And everybody's face is going to be different, of course, but I do like the way that it just is so easy to work with. And usually I just use my fingers. When I put it on the first time, even just right out of the package, brand new, I was able to finger, comb it down, and just work it around my face. Now, you can straighten these wigs out. It's all human hair, as I mentioned many times already. But you can do a straight iron, and it just works really well. I did a little bit on this wig just to take out. It had a lot of body around here, and I feel like I wanted a little bit closer to my head. So I did take some of the curl out a little bit. But it just frames your face so nicely. But if you want to have a straighter style, you can straighten this one. Or if you go on the website, you'll see that there are straight styles in this exact color, or you can get a darker color and gradually work your way into a lighter gray like this one is. And so you've got your way of doing whatever, however you want to. You've got a brand new look, you've got a brand new feel, and I do think that for all of us women, we need an uplift at times, something new, something different to make us feel better about ourselves, especially as we get older and we start to feel invisible sometimes. And this is just definitely something that's put a little bit more pep in my step anyway. And love the look, love how easy it was to work with. And even if I wanted to do a little bit here with a straight iron, I could, or flat iron, just to bring it down a little bit closer. But it's just got a little natural looking wave that's there. And you just work with it to fit your style, to fit your head, and the look that you like. Be sure to go to the website. It'll be linked in the comments below as well as in the description, and you'll be able to look at all of the different styles that Soul Lady has. There's 3 different tones color-wise that you can get to fit whatever part of or whatever season in your life you're going through. And I do love that there's options out there to help us feel better about ourselves. And so I do want to finally just kind of take a look here with my glasses on. I do have to wear them quite often. So here it is. This is me with the glasses, as well as you can see how it looks. Totally changes my look. I love it. I just shared 2 ways that you can do some updates, lift your spirits to make you feel less invisible at this age. And there are lots of other things that you can do. We'll be talking about those in some of the future videos, but a lot of those things that we'll be talking about are mental, and they are all things that you have to work on a daily basis. Speaking to yourself in positive ways, not just affirmations, but just knowing who you are as a woman who is more mature, more wise, and has a lot to offer to people. And I think if we think of ourselves that way more, we feel less invisible. And people treat us how we expect to be treated. So we always have to remember that. And so we'll be looking at that in some future videos. So stay tuned for those. But until then, thank you again for joining me on It's Never Too Late to Date. And we are all about empowering women to feel great about themselves and definitely not invisible at this age. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.